Maurice Bay, the Helpful Trucker here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I make helpful trucking videos, but more importantly, I make helpful videos. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about buying your own truck, becoming an owner-operator, right? So I got a situation here where I drive for my pop, I drive for my dad, have been for the last 4 years. And every so often I get to thinking about buying this truck that I'm driving right now from him. Every so often I get to thinking about it, but every time I start thinking about it, I get gun shy. I start hesitating, and the reason I start hesitating is because of the numbers. So like I drive this truck for my dad now, but I'm the only one that drives this truck. So I know exactly how much this truck makes. I know exactly how much the gross is because I pick up the check every week, and I know exactly how much the expenses are as well. Again, because nobody else drives the truck. So whenever the truck needs maintenance, I'm the one that has to take it and get the maintenance done on it. And you know, he gave me a credit card, but you know, I get to see the bill. I know all the figures on this truck. So every time, you know, every so often I start thinking about buying this truck from him. But whenever I run the numbers, I get a little bit hesitant. And so, you know, if you're thinking about becoming an owner operator or thinking about buying your own truck, you might be thinking, well, darn, it should be a simple decision, you know, to choose between whether you want to drive for somebody or whether you want to, you know, keep driving for your pop, or whether you want to buy the truck. That should be a simple decision, buy the truck. But again, when I start running these numbers, it doesn't make me want to jump. It makes me want to hesitate. So in this video, if you're watching this, I want you to stick with me all through the end, because I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your feedback, especially if you've already been down this path. So I'm making this video specifically for a friend of mine, Zoe. This is for you, bro, because you know me and you always having conversations about me possibly buying the truck. So I talked about Pop again this past weekend, and I brought up the idea to him about me buying the truck. But again, man, every time we start talking about it and I start running the numbers, the incoming expenses on this truck, I get hesitant. And the reason I get hesitant is because I don't really see where buying the truck would put any more profit in my pocket. And for the individual that is thinking about buying their own truck, this video will be valuable to you, because again, I know you're probably thinking, you know, buying my own truck is the key, right? Becoming an owner operator is the key. And it may be for you, but you know, for me, like I said, you know, I'm just not so sure. So I'm gonna run the numbers down in this video to give you, the individual that's thinking about buying your own truck, becoming an owner operator, to give you something to go off of. We got a simple in-state operation. We don't go out of state. We haul wood products, right? Just to give you a little bit of context on my perspective on this. So again, if you are maybe looking at going down the same path, this video will be valuable to you. Make sure you stick around to the end. And Zoe, I want you to hear this video all the way to the end, and I want to hear your comments. I want to hear what you got to say about the numbers that I'm gonna run down to you in this video as well. I really would like to know what you think, because like I said, to me, it makes more sense just to stay driving the truck, and I'm gonna share that with you why it looks that way to me right now. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this as simple as possible. Try to keep this video as short as possible, right? But generally speaking, and I think you know this already, so I get a third of what this truck grosses, of the miles that this truck does. So, you know, at the end of the week, Friday, I pick up the check. The check is what it is, and I'll call my pop and I'll tell him what the check is, and he say, okay, what's your portion? Because he normally don't feel like figuring it up, and I'll tell him what my portion is. Again, my portion is a third of what the truck does. So just to keep this simple, you got the gross profit. The driver gets a third goes to fuel, which leaves a third. Okay, so let me put some numbers and let me put some figures to that. Now, I'm basing these figures on what the truck has, an average of what the truck has been doing ever since I've been in it. Okay, I'm basing the numbers on what the truck did specifically last year, because I just got my 1099 the other day. So I'm basing these numbers I'm about to throw out to you on the average of what the truck did last year. And before we get into this, I know that I could put the truck on a different job or hauling different freight with the truck, and I could change up the numbers. I know that. But being that I am considering buying the truck, it seems to me that when I'm running my numbers, I need to base my expected profits off of what the truck has done, as opposed to basing my expected profits off of what the truck could do in the future. I kind of see that as speculation, and I don't want to speculate on this. So using the figures that the truck has done, all right, so we're gonna base this on an average of 1,500 miles a week. 300 miles a day. And again, I know you're probably saying, well, you need to put the truck on a job where it might can make more miles than that. Again, that's speculation. That's something that could happen. I'm basing these figures on what has been happening, right? So on a 1,500 mile week, which is 300 miles a day, the truck gets paid $1.60 per mile. Now, to keep the figures even in my own head, we'll just call it $1.50 a mile. So $1.50 a mile, 1,500 miles for the week. That's $2,250 that the truck grosses on an average week of 300 miles a day, 1,500 miles for the week. So out of that $2,250 gross, I'm the driver, I get paid a third. A third of that is $750. Another third of that is gonna go to the fuel that I had to put in the truck that week. So that's $750 to the driver, $750 to fuel. That leaves $750 for a week. Now, if we times it by 4 weeks in a month, 750 times 4, that's a total of $3,000 left over in net profit after the driver is paid and after the fuel comes out. So which would be coming to me if I were to buy the truck, that extra $3,000. But out of that $3,000, insurance still has to come out of there. And the last time I checked on insuring this truck in my name by myself, it was $2,200 a month insurance. Right now under my pop, I believe my insurance is right under $1,500 a month. So for this scenario, let's just say I buy the truck from my pop, but I keep it under his insurance. So I'm still paying $1,500 a month. So we got $3,000 left over at the end of the month if I become the owner. Half of that got to go to insurance, which leaves another $1,500. Now also, I haven't factored into this a truck payment, okay? Because I don't plan on him giving me the truck. A lot of people say, you know, your pop will hit you off. Nah, I don't know that, right? I'm not planning on my pop giving me the truck. I'm planning on having to buy the truck from him. So if I were to get him to finance the truck for me, I probably could give him $1,000 a month and get him to finance it for me, which means now it's only $500 left, right? I had $3,000 net after the driver and the fuel came out. Driver pay and fuel came out. $1,500 of it went to insurance, and if I give him $1,000 a month, that leaves $500 a month. If I were to actually go and get the money from the bank, because I can do that, if I did that, my payment will probably be less. So we just gonna say after insurance coming out and after a truck payment coming out, we'll just call it $2,000. We'll say that I can finance this truck at the bank with a payment of about $500. That only leaves $1,000 at the end of the month, net profit after everything has come out: maintenance, insurance, driver pay, and fuel. That's $1,000 left at the end of the month. Excuse me, that's not maintenance that has come out of that. I apologize about that. That's insurance, that's fuel, and that's driver pay that has come out of that, and that's a truck payment that has come out of that. So out of that, between $500 to $1,000, depending on whether the bank finances this truck or whether I finance it, because I don't have the cash, we're talking about $500 to $1,000 left over at the end of the month to do maintenance on the truck. Now, I shouldn't be spending $1,000 a month in maintenance on the truck, but I would imagine going into this, becoming a new owner operator, I want to put $1,000 a month away for maintenance, and I at least want to do that for an extended period of time until I get some money behind me. So if my pop finances the truck and I pay him $1,000 a month, that's only going to leave $500 for a maintenance budget. If I get the truck financed through the bank and I'm paying $500 a month payment to the bank, that's going to leave $1,000 a month maintenance. So with only between $500 to $1,000 left over at the end of the month, and out of that $500 to $1,000, I need to do maintenance. And keep in mind, I wouldn't be buying the truck to break even, right? I wouldn't be buying the truck to break even. We ain't factored in me making no extra money, right? The objective of this is to make more money if I was to buy the truck. The only way I could make more money is if I could go maintenance free on this truck for an extended period of time. But I wouldn't want to plan on, again, that's speculation. I wouldn't want to plan on that happening, right? So with those numbers that I just gave you, only between $500 and $1,000 a month being left over at the end of the month, and out of that having to do maintenance and find a way to save some money, I don't see the benefit in buying this truck. based on the numbers based on the income and the expenses that the truck has been having for the last year. I just don't see it. Some people, when I share these numbers with them, they'll say something like, well, yeah, you ain't paying that $1,000 every single month on the truck maintenance. You're right, you might not be paying it every month, but at the 6th month, you might get an $8,000 or $5,000 expense come up with the truck. You really just don't know when these big expenses are gonna come up with the truck. So even if I'm not spending that $1,000 a month on maintenance in the truck, I still don't need to factor it into my money, because I need to put some money behind me in my business, and I need to have a safety cushion. And I would assume this is something any brand new owner operator would probably be dealing with. So the dilemma that I have is stay as a driver and just continue to just get a third of what the truck makes overall, and don't have to worry about the fuel, don't have to worry about the maintenance or none of that stuff. But my income has flatlined as a driver on the job that I'm on right now, right? Like I said, I got my 1099 the other day, and my income this past year is the same as it was the year before, and the same as it was the year before. So that's one reason that's driving this. It's like, man, I'm flatlining. I don't really see a way to make more money other than put the truck on a different job, which right now I'm leery about that, because like we in the middle of a pandemic, we in the middle of a quarantine right now. You know what I mean? You know, my objective overall, you know, I'm actually looking for a way to replace my trucking income. Me and you talked about that. But like I said, with everything being so haywire right now, it's like, okay, maybe now ain't the best time to look to get out of the truck. But according to a lot of the drivers that I'm talking to, we've talked about this, it's like now might not, well, I'm not hearing most drivers tell me now might not be the best time to buy a truck, but I am hearing from some drivers that, hey man, now might not be the best time to buy a truck, because you need to, with the numbers that I'm sharing with them, with the same numbers that I just shared with you, I'm having a few drivers saying, hey, you know, if you can find another job to put the truck on that requires less fuel or is going to allow you to make more money, maybe you consider buying a truck then. But according to the numbers that you're running, which is based on you having the truck on the same job that it has been on, I'm hearing some people say, hey, you go ahead and get the truck, take a chance, you know, it's going to work out. And I'm hearing some people say, go ahead and get the truck and put it somewhere else. But like I said, I don't know how smart that is to do right now, to buy a truck with the plan on putting it somewhere else, when so far as looking around and hearing from people, you know, it's coming across like it ain't that many places to put the truck at least not right now. So specifically to you, bro, I don't know if I ever ran the figures down to you like this, like I have. Again, it's a bit frustrating to me right now, because again, I just brought this up to my pop again this past weekend, and just thinking about the numbers, I'm just like, man, I'm just not sure if I should make this move or not. I see myself potentially taking on a lot more risk, but it's up in the air as to whether I'm gonna make more money or not. If I can put the truck on another job, I might can make some more money. If I can up my miles where I'm at currently, I might can make some more money. But again, I feel like that's speculation. And I don't feel that I should be making this decision based on speculation. I should be making this decision based on trends, essentially. And that's why I base this whole thing on what the truck has been making. So let me know what you think about this, so down in the comments. I really want to know. And if you are already on this path, right, you are an owner operator, and you got an opinion about some of the figures and some of the things that I dropped in this video, give me your opinion down in the comments. I would like to know what you think, because I am weighing out my options here. And if you're thinking about becoming an owner operator, let me know what you thought about what I shared with you here. Does this match what you expect to have happen when you get out there and buy your truck? Or just let me know. I just want to know from each group of those people what you guys think about what I shared with you in this video, especially you. So I want to know what you think about what I'm sharing with you, man, because again, it's like I don't see it. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't see it. So I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think. This is Maurice Bay. I appreciate you checking out the videos, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Maurice Bay, the helpful trucker, here. For more helpful CDL tips, go here, or consider subscribing to my YouTube channel right here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but instead you chose to be here with me, and I really appreciate that.